I'm just living my
over.
life, 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 life. I'm just living my life, 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 life. I'm just living my life, 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 life. I'm just living my life, and I'm not living.
Cultural appropriation.
Cultural
appropriation.
Like when a white girl wear braids, cornrows, and
yeah,
stuff.
that's another thing that's considered racist.
They feel like they're stealing their culture.
Getting in line in front of a black person in the grocery store, that could be considered racist too, depending on how they got in front of them.
Does that happen?
I don't know.
If you allow somebody to cut you in line, that's just you not sticking up for yourself.
I said that on some jokey stuff, but but you know, black people always say everything is racist. You know, it's so much stuff that it's so you don't know what it is no more. You can't really. It's something that can't be defined.
Super subjective.
It's super, hyper subjective.
Yeah. So let's kind of touch on some of the things you said. So you said like the police. Do you personally feel like there's police targeting black people and treating them unfairly?
No, not all.
Have you had an experience like that?
I have, but you know, I still don't know whether they did it because I was black or not. Because he didn't tell me.
So
I could assume that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
so are you assuming, or you know this for sure?
No, I'm just assuming that.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. But what I think there are some police that may see people that are, you know, fit a certain description and just see everybody look like that as that. You know,
and like I said, that's a slippery slope because in many cases, stereotyping people is a necessary thing for survival and our safety. It's like if I go to the corner store in my neighborhood and I see a bunch of young men, black men with hoodies on, sitting on the loitering in front of the store, I think it's safe to assume I might not need to pull up there and they got blue flags in their pocket. I'm going to assume they're gangbanging. Or if I see some people who aren't dressed well and they're hanging in loitering in front of the store, I might avoid that store because I'm going to assume they're crackheads or bums and they're going to ask me for money.
Right.
So I'm stereotyping them based on their appearance. And you know,
in the
environment.
Well, I'm not saying the police is like just wrong, you know what I'm saying, completely, but I think some of them get so deep into that stereotype that they just make everybody that, and it causes them to over police in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say I think it's a small case, you know what I'm saying. I think it's a very, very small group of people, you know, that just don't like, you know, black people maybe, but hell, we gonna never know who they is or, you know, what they are until, you know, they say it with their mouth. Until they admit it and confess that. But because anybody can lie and say, oh, I'm not, you know, I'm not, I was just this, and this. So you really don't know until, you know, and it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. And
that's what's the biggest thing. It really don't even matter if they hate you. Just stay out the police way.
Right. Yeah, just do right.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't have that experience. I've had plenty of I have way more good experiences with cops than bad. Cops have shown me a lot of favor when they should have not shown me favor. So, you know, my personal experience, I had bad ones. You've been with me.
I've had a few bad ones myself.
Yeah,
too.
but
it wasn't like I wasn't doing nothing wrong, and I definitely fit the description.
And I can't say that it was racist either.
I hate to say it, but you know, fit the description.
Yeah.
And it's just the reality. But at the time we were so young, you're not going to understand that. You can't understand it from that perspective. You haven't had enough life experience to even understand how a real organization is ran.
Mm-hmm. And also,
it's a lot more deeper than just cop on patrol. It's way more than
that. And when cops are pulling you over, as far as anybody, they aren't able to tell the color of your skin from behind the car. Now, we can't stereotype based off of some cars. If you got 24s and a Caprice Classic and some Beats, me personally, I'm going to assume you're black. That's just me. And I'm stereotyping because that's commonly what I see in my community. And I live in an all-black community.
Man, I was about to go to tangent. I don't want to go too deep on this tangent, but I just want to say this. You know, the blacks always complain about being stereotyped, but they do more stereotyping than anybody else on the earth almost, especially against each other. Yeah. If you're a person that's classified as black, the blacks will tell you you're talking white if you're speaking, you know, properly English, so you're not slurring your words and using slang. They'll tell you, you know, you're being white if you don't. If you're a part of a situation where somebody, like if somebody assaults you, let's just make it easy. If somebody assaults you and you call the police and tell them, You're a snitch.
Yeah. Insane, right? Okay, so.
Oh man, that's deep.
So let's go and touch on this question. Are black people treated unfairly by opposite race in general? Do you think, generally speaking, most of the time, black people are treated unfairly?
Nah.
Okay. Do you think black people have to work harder than white people to achieve?
Sandwich with the wrong side up.